If you want to create one of the rarest builds in NBA 2K21, like and subscribe within the next 5 seconds. If not, you might end up making a playmaking shot creator or a paint beast. I wouldn't risk it. Yo YouTube, it's your boy Premier, back today with another banger, and in today's video we'll be going over one of the rarest builds I've seen in NBA 2K21, a slashing forward build. First things first though, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. We're on the grind to 15k, turn the post notifications on so you'll miss the next banger. Now, getting straight into this build video, yes, you did hear me right. This is one of the rarest builds I personally seen. Let me know down below in the comment section if you have seen this build somewhere. It is called a slashing forward. This is like a LeBron James kind of build. It reminds me a lot of the post playmaker build. And the way you create that build, take the position. You can look at the small forward position. I'm not gonna cap. The benefit of going small forward is you do get ankle breaker. So if your ankle breaker made, go small forward. If you want to be a power forward, the benefit is you get the big man contact dunks. That is a personal preference. I'm going to leave up to y'all. You make that decision, small forward or power forward. But for the skill breakdown, a lot of people probably are thinking, oh, this is going to be like a red yellow. But with this build right here, I want you to go all the way up to the top, come down to the blue and yellow. The benefit of going blue and yellow is you get contact dunks a lot earlier. The red yellow only gets the contact dunks at 99 overall. Plus this build here will be able to speed boost. It gets the pro dribble moves package at 97 overall. So this build here is a little better. Obviously you're going to take a hit on defense, but that's just something you're going to have to be okay with in this year's 2K to make the better all-around build. Anyways, onto the physical profile. For the physical profile, you have a decision to make as well. Do you want to go speed, acceleration, and vertical 71, 68, 78, or do you want to come up to the top and do you want to do like a pure speed? There is no other physical profiles you should look at. These are the only two, in my opinion, for this build you should even be looking at. Me personally, since this build is going to be taller anyways, I want the pure speed. Now, for the attributes, max out the close shot, max out the driving layup, max out the standing dunk. And then as you can see, you can end up with like 18 finishing if you end up dropping down the close shot. If you ended up maxing out the post stick there, you could end up with 21. Not gonna lie, post sticking though on this build to get the best all-around version of this build, it's just really not gonna be a thing. With the shooting as well, max out the mid-range, max out the three-point. You can go with maxing out the free throw and then the post fade. You will get more attributes if you do it like that. You can fact check me on that as well. I do not recommend upgrading the post fade. For the playmaking, max out the post moves, max out the ball handling, then put the pass accuracy at a 52, then come down and try to put the rest into defense. And as you can see, it's looking tough. You only end up with 5. So what I ended up deciding to do with this build, I went back up, ended up dropping down some of the finishing. In my opinion, out of those 3 attributes, in order to get the most amount of badges, drop the driving layup, do not touch the close shot there, and then come all the way down. You can pull away from the playmaking as well. The playmaking, it seems, is a lot more expensive to pull away from. I feel like you can pull away, like if you wanted to only have 12 finishing badges, you could do that with this build. That is an option. But as you can see, we continue to sit here and work on it, continue to try to get more defensive badges. You cannot really afford to get more shooting badges. Obviously we would like to get more shooting badges, but in order to keep at least around 15, 16 playmaking, around 15, 16 finishing, we're shooting for at least 10 defensive here. I had to drop the playmaking. Like I said, the playmaking is a lot more expensive to pull from attribute wise versus the finishing. And by the way, if I'm going too fast, feel free to pause the video at any time and get whatever badge layout you would prefer. I'm just sitting here playing around with it, showing you a ton of different options that you can do. 15, 8, 13, 10. Getting that 10 defensive for me was huge. Having 3 gold defensive badges and at least 1 bronze, which will probably be chase down artist for me. Getting a look though here at the badge split, 14, 8, 15, 10. That is looking pretty solid here for the badge setup. Not gonna lie, I tried to mess around with the defense, see if there's a few different ways you could do it. I ended up going back up here, trying to get a few more playmaking. I wanted a few more finishing. I definitely wanted more shooting on this build. We had to move on. There's only so much you can do with this build. For the body shape though, I feel there's only 3 you should compare between: burly, built, and defined. In my opinion, it's between burly and built, having to cut out defined first. I'm always going burly because we're gonna have to end up dropping this build's weight since we chose the pure speed. Next, onto the height though. For the height, it's between 6'8" or 6'7". 6'9" for this build is not an option. At 6'8", you still won't be able to get the pro dribble moves, so you have to come down to 6'7". at 6'7", when you are a 97 overall on this build. On the red yellow, it's 99 overall, but on this build here at 97 overall, you will get the pro dribble moves. And once you drop down the weight, you'll end up to start out. You're gonna start out with the 89 speed, 86 acceleration. That's before the +4 on Gym That's before the +4 from 99. This build is going to be looking godlike. That's like a 97 speed. The real trick with this build is going to be shooting with this 3-ball. But watch what I did here when I went back in the attributes. I sat here and thought to myself, when you drop down the weight on this build, what would be the point of having interior defense? It just doesn't make sense. Once you end up dropping the weight on this build, there's no point in having interior defense. So I went back and ended up messing around with the build, and it gives you a ton of more badges. 15, 8, 18, and 10. That is much better than, I think it was like 14, 8, 15, 10. In total, you get 4 extra badges. So for the loyals, for everyone who didn't just skip through the video, I slid that in there for y'all. When I went back and ended up messing around with this build, I found there was a better way to get more badges, so I had to show that in the video. Anyways though, back to the arms here. When you start out with the default arms and drop it by 1, you can start out with pro dribble moves, and at 99, you would be able to get the driving dunk. Or excuse me, at I think it's 85, so that'll be 98. You can get the driving dunk to get all the contact dunk packages. But me, in my opinion, there is no point in doing that. This build's already going to be hard to shoot with anyway, and once you get this build maxed out, you're going to be able to get the pro dribble moves. So for more of the long-term benefit, definitely make sure to max out your arms. And in my opinion, it's not a debate. Shot creator takeover. If you're scared, if you can shoot the ball, go with shot creator. But for me, it's slash or take, because you have just built a slashing 4 similar to Zion, similar to John Collins. This build right here is a demigod. It is very slept on. It will be one of the best legend builds in the game. You've heard it here first. Whenever this build gets discovered, it's better than the post playmaker. This build here is a demon. Let me know what y'all think of the build down below in the comment section. Let's get straight into the badges. These are going to be the best badges that I recommend for this build. First things first, the benefit of having Hall of Fame contact finisher. Wow, that is amazing. Not many builds get that in NBA 2K21 current gen. I'm not gonna lie though, if you're playing the ones, you obviously don't need Showtime. This right here would be my best ones badges setup. Pro touch, relentless there. Maybe try to sneak in a little consistent, maybe a little fancy footwork. It's really up to you there on the finishing, because it depends on what game mode you're gonna be playing. 1, 2s, 3s, Pro-Am. For ISOing, for playing the ones, I'd recommend Hot Zone Hunter, Range Extender, Hot Start there, and Green Machine. If you're spotting up, you could do Silver Catch and Shoot, Silver Corner, Silver Hot Zone, Silver Range. But for the ones, this right here is the best shooting badges setup that I recommend. On to the playmaking. Now for the playmaking, this matters as well on the game mode you're playing. If you're playing 2s, if you're playing 3s, this right here is what I recommend. Hall of Fame quick first step, Hall of Fame handles for days, Hall of Fame unpluggable. The only thing I'd change if I played ones, I would take off bailout, I would take off downhill. If you're not gonna be playing, if you're gonna be playing 2s or 1s, obviously take off downhill altogether would be completely unnecessary at that point. And you could even look at floor general. Once again though, it's up to you what playmaking badges you decide to use, and it's based on the game mode that you're gonna be playing. Onto the defensive, at least bronze box out, at least bronze clamps, silver chase, silver intimidator, silver rim protector. I'd end up dropping the chase down. I feel you need the gold rebound chaser on this build. If you really wanted, you could do gold intimidator, gold rim protector, gold rebound chaser. This right here though, in my opinion, is the best all around badge setup. Like I said, it depends on what court you're playing. If you decide to go play the ones court, try to sneak in some post move lockdown. This right here, in my opinion, is the best way, the best ones badges setup for this build. Try to get that gold post move, but for the best all around, just go back there and look at the last badge setup I showed with the defensive. That's all though for this video. Let me know what you think down below in the comment section of this build. Double L, read it 1 through 10, and let me know what video you want to see next. If you're loyal, if you watch this video all the way through, drop down below in the comment section who, in your opinion, is the greatest point guard of all time. We've started having these basketball debates in Discord. Might take it to streams, potentially do some YouTube videos with it. Tell me what y'all think of that. Is that a dub or is that an L? But like the video if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Make sure to turn the post notifications on so you don't miss the next banger. It's your boy Premier, and I'm out. Peace.
It's getting hard to keep composure. They keep trying me. I came from nothing, now they bumping my songs overseas. I remember when I first started, they threw dirt on me, and now they saying